What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where I felt like I needed to give this gun a first shot. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So of course I'm talking about the gun of the moment, the Slingshot, that everybody is just calling trash, including me, right? Because let's face it, that 60 optimal range, what is it really going to do for us with an SMG? Playing range with an SMG with that spread is pretty terrible. Now, optimal range on other guns isn't really that big. You can see on the Pestilence it's 31, the Capacitor it's 31, a good friend St. Elmo that does really well at range is 31, and obviously them guns do that well at range because of the spread on the gun being so small. Then you get to LMGs, my favorite, you get 35, you got 40 on the Carnage, so you've got a lot of options where optimal range is really good. But 60, I suppose you could say, is pretty special, and it doesn't go well necessarily with the UMP. The UMP is bottom of its class, unfortunately. When it comes to SMGs and burst damage, it's not very good, but let's just give it a try, because kind of what I'm thinking here is that you can obviously make this build with any other SMG, but you're not going to get that damage at range. And when we're playing, does that range of an extra 30 or so meters really pay off? Is it actually worth it? So that's the plan. We're going to give it a go. Now, we're not going to use anything terribly special here. We're just going to lean into strikers, a Seska chest. I've got a PS backpack on here, which gives us armor on kill, and Bloodsucker, another armor on kill from Gunner. And the reason I've gone with this is that I'm actually going to take this into Legendary DUA and kind of see how it goes. Now, the one thing that I have done to kind of negate its issues is I put every mod on the gun into accuracy. So you can build up accuracy quite high, 30, 30 and 30. Now, there are some other options that you could do. We could make this even higher. So for instance, if you look at Fox's prayers, if I look to the right slot, you can see that 2-piece Fox's prayers gives us 30% accuracy, which is a lot to give up. We'd have to, trade into 2-piece. And I suppose that could be okay. We could go like a backpack with Bloodsucker still, or Vigilance, or whatever, a chest piece with Obliterate, and that would kind of work. But we could also spec into it a little bit further, and if we're not going to use strikers, go 3-piece, because the weapon handling includes 30% accuracy. So we have got some other options. Maybe these two should be that set. But what we've got to think about as well is strikers gives us another 15%. So if we look at our stats right now, we've got 115% accuracy, and I kind of feel like if I go any higher, I'm taking damage away when I could just use another gun. So let's see if this pays off and how it feels, because it might actually make us want to spec into that, get the Overlord chest and the backpack. So this is where I would usually go. Kind of don't feel like I'm doing anything. I feel like I'm shooting peanut. Or marshmallows, I should say. Why was that guy shooting the sky? So it gives a good idea of the spread here. So we can hit fairly good, even at range. Oh, that was a pretty good shot. Strikers is fairly consistent here. Alright, let's see if it's got its big boy pants on. If we can get ammo quick enough. Really, we should have had a shield for this bit, but it is where it is. Ah! Please stop doing that.
I don't know.
I don't feel like it did terrible. I mean, I don't feel like it's doing a terrible job here. But I certainly feel like that, you know, we have got better. Obviously, I'm not needing to play at range right now because these guys are so close.
Copy that. Returning fire. What the hell?
Sniper stopping me from peeking. That's annoying. Ah!
Medical assistance needed. Agent down.
He's shooting through, or is he in here with me?
What happened? Vital signs critical.
Hey!
Target's back on their.
See, it's kind of weird that I can shoot from here with an SMG. Like, that bit there is just kind of weird.
Killed one of ours. Enemy on our flank. We got another.
I mean, what can I say? It's done the job. Was it comfortable? Not really. Would it work on a heroic mission? Yeah. I mean, we can play at range here now. Although I needed a decoy really, but I should really be shooting already, but...
Target's confirmed. Immediate
Pushing me
medical
up.
assistance needed. Can't see shit from here. We're moving in.
I mean, cover firing is definitely not its thing. Bah!
Serious trauma.
Yeah,
detected.
I mean... There's just a lack of damage because it's not a good UMP. You know, it's just not a good gun. And I mean, if you compared it to, you know, some other things we've got on the table, I mean, look at the St. Elmo's. Now, it obviously does more damage than the St. Elmo's. As you can see, the Slingshot is no expertise whatsoever, whereas my St. Elmo's engine is 30. But I mean, double the mag nearly, a lot more, a couple of hundred more IPM. And this is where the game really pays off. The burst damage in the game really pays off, and that's what makes the game, you know, feel easy. I don't know, maybe if we pumped the damage on it, I feel really... Yeah, if I pumped the expertise on it, would it really start to pay off then? Because we would be hitting for 30% more. 127 is pretty high. You know, if we compare it to the Lexington, I mean, the RPM's just always going to win, right? The RPM is just always going to win. I mean, look at that there. That's a really good example right there. Like, the Carnage there would just be better, but it has got 30% expertise on it. Do we, for science, push the Slingshot up? I feel like we have to use strikers with it because we want the RPM boost. And alright, we did build in some survivability. Do I have to take one for the team here? feel like I might have to take one for the team. Alright, you guys better be liking this video and commenting down below. Slingshot. Alright, here we go. Let's see. I'll be right back because I don't want to make the video too long. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I know I've got 764 exotic components on this character, but it's 135k now. It's not going up by that much. That's making me convinced that it's going to be better. I mean, for instance, look at the capacitor. You know, it's going to get to similar kind of damage, a less RPM, and, you know, only 4 different bullets in the mag. It's just not going to change my mind. You know, the optimal range did not really feel like it did anything for me. Not when I can use an assault rifle that's so much more accurate and the optimal range really doesn't matter, and the damage drop off really just doesn't matter. I'm having to sacrifice damage to even make this thing usable by putting so much accuracy into the build on the mods. So yeah, it's just not for me. This is with the stats anyway. 57 crit chance, 141 critical hit damage. If you wanted to see what I was running exactly, so damage to target out to cover with killer, accuracy, and mag, extra mag on the slingshot. Then on the striker's mask, crit damage all the way, crit damage on the gloves, crit damage on the knees, crit damage on the holster, Cheska chest with crit damage, crit chance, and crit chance with obliterate, and a palisade backpack with armor on kill, armor, crit chance, and double crit damage with bloodsucker. Now, there's nothing saying that you can't run this in heroic and you might actually like it and you might get a little bit of extra damage from it. I just think the UMP needs a buff. The base UMP essentially needs a buff that would affect this gun to make us use it that little bit more, and for that nice little advantage that it does get having such huge optimal range would then start to pay off. But right now, that boosting optimal range for me just isn't worth it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.